Hey YouTube, it's Pump. Today I wanted to go over my 24 fall and wanted to go over every difficulty spot in this key as you climb up in key level. You'll need a rogue or an invis pot for this route, and I'll timestamp everything below with the difficulty levels. Pulls 2 and 3 are the most scary by far, and I'll go over them in detail when I get there. So with this route, you are going to pull just about the whole room on pull. Right as you walk in, you're going to lust, and hopefully your tank pulls the bottom pack up to the middle as opposed to walking down all the time. As Fire Mage, we're kind of sad whenever mobs are moving because we need them to be in Flame Patch and all that. So I'm just kind of waiting, not really doing much, and now I just decide I need to go, and I'm just aggressively shoving all my defensive CDs whenever you pull fat like this, and I'm just doing rotation. As you can see, I ice colded right off rip. I blinked to dodge Volcanic, and now I'm just spam CCing with the boys. We DB, dodging Volcanic. I get knocked up by Volcanic. A little bit of an inoptimal play, but it doesn't really matter. There's no real danger in this pack for DPS. For your tank, they have to do stuff to live. I'm sure the Chrono Meld or whatever can one-shot you, I'm pretty sure, if you aren't careful. But we still in this pack at around 1.2 mil, even though we had to walk down the steps. I think if he sigiled the bottom pack and just kept it right in the middle, I would have been up near like 1.4, 1.5. So that's something to communicate with your tank if you're a Fire Mage and are pushing this season. Try and pull all the mobs into a middle area as opposed to having to walk the whole way through. So now we're just ethically Pyroblasting the highest HP target. I held Belorlos on pull there because I don't think the damage is worth the risk. So when tanks are gathering threat, Belorlos has killed me quite a few times just because they rip threat so much. It's just like Beacon for melee last season. I just hold Belorlos until after a huge pull like that. You waste 30 seconds or whatever, but so what? I wasted use of Belorlos. I'd rather live and make sure the key goes well. And then we're on to this boss. This boss is very chill. This is probably one of the most chill bosses of the whole season, honestly. He just throws some sand pools, and then he does a leap on you. As long as you soak the leaps, there's nothing really scary about this. In really, really insanely high key levels on Tyrannical, you might have a space issue, but as long as you're just always pre-planting and spacing yourself, you should be fine. As Mage, I always look to get the second soak. Usually pugs are really excited to get the first soak, so I always just blink in and get the second if possible. I want to fast forward through this boss a bit. There's nothing really to talk about. It just repeats the same things we just saw. Our DPS comp's kind of funny. Ret Paladin on Holy DK is definitely not the meta. I haven't seen much on Holy DK at all this season, but they're getting some buffs on reset, so hopefully that helps them. Vengeance Demon, on the other hand, that class is busted. I don't know what that class does DPS damage as a tank, so we'll be seeing a lot of that this season. Now we're on to the hardest spot of the whole dungeon with these coalesced time packs. So these guys do a volley, which the volley has to be kicked no matter what. And here's the volley. And then we see dispels come out of this ad, this Chrono Burst. Chrono Burst is the scariest part of this whole entire platform because it hurts a fuck ton on high keys. You will definitely wipe to this in your pugs. It requires some coordination or a really good healer. So I think the best way to deal with it is to have one person, especially if you're ranged, to be spread out from the rest of the group, and if they get it, they get insta-dispelled, but it still does 600k-ish to your HP bar. See, I almost got one shot by it, just about. It hurts bad. If you're a melee, I think the best option is to wait until the last second to get out of the way, and your healer never dispels melee. But at the same time, you have to have a personal if you get that Chrono Shear. The dot hurts a lot, and the explosion hurts like over 3/4 of your health bar at higher keys. So now we're on to a non-chrono, whatever it's called, pack, where we don't have to deal with the dispels. We're just dealing with bolts and stuff. There is still Innervate from this pack. Innervate, if it goes off, is really scary for somebody. I got double bolted, it looked like. But I live, thankfully. Now we're chilling. I'm just single targeting again. Whenever there's 3 or less in a pack like this, I'm just looking to single target. We used our staff there. I like my little staff we go on the bottom right. I'll link it in the description below if you drop the staff. It helps me remember a bit. And now on to a scary Coalesced Time pack. There's only 2 of these. I hate these packs. They are very scary. Here's the Chrono Burst. Who's it go on? Not me. So I blink out of the way. Not my problem. The healer just gets one shot, and now it's super scary. I think the Chrono Burst should be able to go on healer. That would nerf it a lot. But now we're playing without a healer. Here comes some random DPS. Let's see what happens. The volley. We kick volley, thankfully. Now we get another Chrono Burst. I have Alter. I altered, and I died to an Innervate. I did have Kick, but I was worried about my Alter, and I straight up died to the Kick. Healer also died, I think, just straight up Chrono Burst. Or the Ret Paladin with me, he died to Chrono Burst. You will have stray deaths in this pack. I feel like it's almost unavoidable, but this is the hardest pack of the whole dungeon, and after you get through this pack, we walk in with and just get Chrono Bursted from far as fuck. And it did 630k to me. And the healer just says I can't. It hurts a lot. 630k is a lot. You have to have a defensive as a DPS. It's definitely difficult to deal with, and it's also a bit of a gear thing. Gear definitely does help there, but it's still 630k. Just no matter what is a lot of damage. So now we're pulling one more Coalesced Time pack. This is just an Innervate pack, so you just gotta kick Innervate, and then you're chilling. The bolts don't matter a whole lot. You have to get really unlucky to die to a bolt, but the Innervate is the scare kick, and Innervate goes off again, and once it starts, you have to have a hard stun. And I die to... I believe I was getting targeted by the Innervate, and I just bled. Might have been a bolt that killed me. But these packs, they just suck. I think these are the only deaths we had in this entire dungeon. We still timed this by like 6 minutes, by the way, with this kind of funny comp. This key is definitely an easy push key outside of this area. This area is really, really hard to execute, especially in a pug. So after this, the boss will spawn, just killing leeches. And so they nerfed the pixel stack method. You can no longer pixel stack this boss for the debuffs. So you are left to do this boss normally. And by normally, I mean you have to put the debuff that goes out in the fast quadrant. Both of the debuffs have to go to the fast quadrant whenever it goes out. If you don't get a debuff, then you're going to stand in the slow because it gives you damage reduction. I believe it's 25%. So this Reminiscent of Time is what spawns the balls, and then you're just watching your feet, right? Yeah. So you're just watching your feet. As Mage, I'm always just playing far away so that I can just dodge. And then this Chrono Fade is the thing that gives you the debuffs. So I'm just looking at my bars. Chrono Fade goes out now. Who gets the debuffs? It's me, so I go back to the fast. I'm in fast. And then you press the defensive. I get dispelled instantly. I Invis the next. Bam. As long as your healer dispels somebody that gets to fast quickly, you'll be fine with this. It's when somebody unexpectedly dies with their debuff that you get like 2 ticks of that, and it just will one-shot you. That's where the key gets scary, is if somebody doesn't get to fast quickly, and they just stand around and slow, and then your healer gets confused or stressed, and then it becomes a lot harder. So we get the debuffs again. I'm just chilling and slow. Didn't even hurt anything. I'm even popping Baloros. I'm chilling so hard. And there we are. We're just back to dodging balls. On Tyrannical, this boss is scary. I believe your Lust is still the first pull on Tyrannical, but I could totally see a world where you save Lust for all the way to this boss, but it's, I don't know, scary. Chrono Faded, I give him in the slow, I don't need to do anything. Both of them go to the fast. 1 dispel, defensive. Oh, barely live. I Ice Cold to heal myself back up. Healer had a really clutch bubble on the Paladin there. Paladin would have died if he didn't get his bubble. Back to DPSing. Staff. Thanks, Weakora. That staff can crit for 1.1 mil on hero track, by the way. That staff is absurd amounts of damage. I get lucky, no Chrono Faded, I'm just chilling in the slow. Oh, really? That kills me? Oh. I just took 2 ticks because he unexpectedly died. That was it. And we do double B-Res this boss. I'm thinking about it to myself, like, should I take it? Decide to take it. No B-Res in the next area, but the next area you can execute pretty well. Difficulty-wise, I think this boss is the hardest boss of the dungeon, so... That's the only danger of this boss, is when you get 2 of those dispels that go off too quickly. Like, that The guy who got dispelled second just died unexpectedly, so then it took a lot of damage. My health pot. Chilling now. And that's the hardest boss of the dungeon. On Tyrannical, that boss will be scary. So now we're going to get to the Dragon Ad that we want to skip. This Dragon Ad is pretty skippable in any pug. It's very good to skip it. So I get on a duo mount. This Sand Vial Drake is a dual person mount, and it saves one person. Makes it a little less room for error. If two people get on a dual person mount, it gets even easier. And then we do slash pull 5, and we all walk on 0 and hug either the right or left side. You can hug either one. As long as everyone leaves it around the same time, you should be fine. We fast forward a bit, and then we get to the dragon pack, which is our left spot. So I'm finding the big dragon. This is my ramp target. Oh, and we notice our demon hunter is a little slow, so I caught there, which is not ideal at all. But we're a little late to the show. The Ret Paladin got to do all the padding. I like to kill the little lads here. I've definitely gone over a mil just in this pack alone, but it is what it is. So we're lowish on defensives right now. I've got Ice Cold. I'm popping low. Ice Cold. Healer was dead right there. Spew now. I have no defensives for the next run, and that was a bad Belorlos. That Belorlos might have killed me. I was gonna die to that anyways, actually. I don't even know if I would have been saved. Do I walk up and die again? I do. I have no defenses and I'm just walking up. I don't know. Healers. This is a hard pack to heal, but I don't have HPS up right now, so I can't see how well he's doing, but this is just a generally hard area to heal. One heal, please? One heal, please? He must be or something. I'm just dying. Okay, he finally got a heal off. Oh my god, 1 dragons is a lot right now. I don't know if he's or what, but these packs are hard to heal, so. Demon are saying no more pots because you need to skip. We're a mage, so we just press greater invis. We don't care. Just chill. And now we do 1 dragon at a time. And now I can space out my defensives like I want. This is an area where I think that the Ignite build would be interesting to run, because this has 1 funnel target. You're just killing the big dragon. I think this dungeon, Ataldazar and Blackrook Hold will be speculatively good for the Ignite build. I'll look to run them later in the season as I get more data on it, but so we're just slowly killing this drag. As long as you pop something when he's doing his AoE, not Blight Spew, but the cast. I guess he just constantly spews it. There isn't even a cast. It is just constant. So just make sure you space out your defensives evenly. There isn't ever a ramp in damage, so it's just the same thing over and over again. You just have to have something each time. So we're just waiting till the next pack. No bust going in the next pack, but we don't really care. Shifting power. Now I have combust, so I combust this. Let's see. I do. What is it, 7 stacks here? But this is awkward. Right, I just want to get it in a combust so that I get it back early in the fight. Meh. I don't know, that's not great. Maybe should have held. See if I walk up in Belorlos after this. I think I just decided to hold it. Oh, my staff. And now do I have Belorlos? Nope. Eh, yeah, that's fine. Altar's really good in these single dragon packs because it's the same damage cycle over and over again. So this next boss is really fun as Mage. I'll try and point out the exact spot, but you can greater invis a spew, the debuff that goes out in phase 2 and phase 3, and it completely skips it and makes the fight really free if you're able to pull it off. It's pretty hard to execute. You have to be paying attention really hard, but I'll show you where you can do. So this corrosive infusion is what I'm talking about. It didn't pick me here. I believe I do get picked on the second one, and I don't G-Invis it, but I'll still point out what you would do when it would come out. So this take mechanic is just You have to pass the blight onto the tank, whatever it's about to go to him. On phase 1, you can just instantly pass it to your tank. Phase 1, you could instantly pass it to him. He won't get cooldowned or anything. But in the second phase, you ideally pass it once or twice to another teammate, or the person who originally gets it holds it for quite a long time, which is what I end up doing, and I'll show you what it looks like. So we're just dodging. He phases at 80%. 80% is the first phase. Here we go. Now we're into phase 2. I believe I get picked first, and I'm not looking to G-Invis at all here. This was my second lust, so it picks me here, and I don't G-Invis it because I know I need it in the next pack, and I was worried about timing. So if you hold it all the way until this wins, you do not have to pass it to somebody else. So because I held it so long, now the tank just has it the whole time, and he doesn't have to pass it between anybody. Because it takes quite a while for this breath to clear his debuff, so... You either need a tanky class, or you just need to pass it around a couple times during the intermission and make sure it ends up at the tank afterwards. Doing a lot of Scorch filling. I definitely didn't do optimal rotation there. I was low on resources going into this, but it's okay. Just pooling up to get back to Combust for the last phase. Okay, we're in phase 3 now. So phase 3 is the most hectic part of the fight for sure. But if you're able to skip... Let's see which one does the corrosive. Because if you're able to G-Invis the corrosive and it picks you, you are extremely happy. I believe it's the right one that does corrosive. I G-Invis a noxious whatever right there. It didn't pick me. It's the right dragon that does it. The left dragon just spams a bunch of noxious stuff and then does breath. There's the breath, I think. Yeah, there's the breath. Okay, so you're looking to G-Invis from the right dragon when he comes over. If it picks you. You clear out the Necrofrost before the breath comes out. That's a little combo that can happen that sucks. There's the breath. We dodge it. Easy. Okay. Necrofrost is on me, so I blink in. If I were to shield right now, it would get rid of it on me. That's our energized barriers talent. It counts as it gets rid of roots. So if I would have buried right there, I would have cleared myself, but I got bopped, or I got freedomed, excuse me. Other than that, just slow playing it out. Nothing to talk about. On Tyrannical, this boss gets scary just because of how long this phase is. There's a lot of room for error with breaths and stuff like that, and this debuff. So there's a little bit of juggling that has to happen. It's mildly scary, but not as scary as the second boss, after you know what you're doing. So this is where we Invis skip. I Invised as a defensive at the very last part, but I still get it back by the time we get up there. So you can either kill this first pack and then G-Invis the whole way, or Invis starting here and then go all the way to the last pack, which with this route you want to kill the last pack because it has the whole percent. So it's a little sketchy, but you could still G-Invis it and you just don't want to hit. It was a pet that he killed. I thought he targeted me there, but it was killing the Unholy DK's pet or whatever. You can make it all the way. Here I start questioning myself. I'm like, where did everyone go? But they went to the right for the pack. I'm like, where is everybody? Oh, they were to the right. Okay. And then with this pack, you're just watching the spinny guy, which I found out. Spinny guy spinned. Nothing scary with this pack. Just kick bolts. Chrono melt for the tank. Chrono melt for the tank. And I'm just kicking bolts. Belorlos in the spin. I'm asking to die. And now there's a volcanic under me, and I'm being grieved. Oh my god, it's so bad. That volcanic just was out to get me. Okay. Now on to the last boss. I actually really like this last boss design. I'll show you everything you could do with this boss. after we kill a spinny boy. Slow spinny boy. So we have Lust coming up in 50. I think I just rip it right as I get it. It's fine. You'll have Lust coming up around when you get here. And this last boss is really chill. Most scary part is definitely from the dot that you get after you soak, and the soak itself. So it's a matter of spreading out your defensives. So this slam right here, this Extinction Blast, you can G-Invis it when it targets you, but the slam will happen wherever you G-Invis at. You still get the slam, you just skip the dot that you would get normally. So I alter. Alter is a really good cooldown every time on that slam. And then you feel it out whether or not you can live like 2 or 3. Healer was really struggling. Let's see. I think I just Lust during this because it's slow. Wow, I caught here. Healer was just behind there. I wish I had HP. Oh, I do have HPS up now. Is it 100k? I don't know. I don't know healer cooldown's enough yet. Or healing numbers for this season. Feels low-ish, but... let's see if I Lust when my Combust comes up. I think I do. Just to get through the lull. Knowing me, I would Combust right now after I do this. Yeah, okay. That's me. Fuck everyone else because it's fuck everyone else's cooldown. We just care about us. We don't care about anything else. So as long as you kick your own ad, it doesn't matter if these get split. They'll come in. These ads don't scale with Fort or Tyrannical to my knowledge. They just have low HP no matter what. So they're kind of... You can ignore them. They get cleaved down with us too. I Meteor to pad. Hell yeah, brother. The tank's trying to min-max the coordination, but you don't have to do that much. It really doesn't matter. I guess for healing purposes it matters for this Extinction Blast. It could matter. Help the healer out as much as you can. So here I should G-Invis when it gets to 2 seconds. So yeah, G-Invis a second early there. I probably don't have DR for this last tick. Bam. I could have had DR for the ticks of the dot though. So I Ice Cold afterwards. It's okay, but I still could have gotten more value out of G-Invis if I just held it a little longer. Now this whole part hurts. I'd use the new Dream healing potion. It leaves a little healing afterwards, which I find more useful in keys. I think it's rare that you get the full effect out of the old healing pot. So this healing pot kind of makes it so you get a little more healing afterwards that you might not have gotten before. Here I do a spin. I get lost. But I still dodged it. It's okay. I don't have any defensive. This is just healing. He just has to heal. I'm so scared here. I'm like, I don't have any way to save myself. I could alter right now. I should have altered. I definitely should have altered when I was high HP. But we get through it. 40 seconds it took to get there. Damn. It's a long time. And he phases at 90%. So we are just waiting. You can kind of start to do the math with your DPS depending on whether or not you can skip it in time. So we can see we have like 40-ish seconds until the next shield, and we've only got like 2% HP to do, so I know that I'm just going to pop CDs here, get to push. Skipping that shield is a huge deal, but on Tyrannical you're probably getting 3 shields no matter what. Maybe even 4 at really high keys. This boss might be deceptively really difficult at high keys, especially to heal on Tyrannical. There's a lot to heal during the intermission when you have that stone shield, so it might be a figure out the cooldowns kind of boss. So we're doing the same thing. We save something for this. I G-Invis later this time. This is much better. I get the full duration, and I get 1 tick of the one after. And I altered to help myself. Now we Belorlos, little SKB go. Look at us go. Phased. And now you get to do all the padding in here. Combust with SKB. Hell yeah. We do a lot of damage in this just because, obviously, Fire Mage and Haste, but it's fun. And that's the key. We still beat it by, I think it's 6 minutes? Around 6 minutes? Just under a 2 chest, even with all the deaths we had. But there was no major wipes, but a couple stray deaths. But Hope you guys like this video. I plan on doing commentaries for every single push key, and if I get to do any big keys, I'll start doing compilations of anything I haven't already covered individually. Thanks, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.